The Light of Elderswood. In the quaint village of Elderswood, nestled between towering mountains and dense forests, strange occurrences began to unsettle the peaceful lives of its residents. Crops wilted overnight, livestock went missing, and eerie whispers echoed through the woods at dusk. The native doctors, revered for their ancient wisdom, were baffled and could offer no solutions, leaving the villagers in a state of fear and confusion. Lila, a young girl, fervently devoted to her faith in God. She is kind-hearted, brave, and often ostracized by her peers for her beliefs. The elders, a group of village leaders who look to tradition for guidance. Villagers, a mix of fearful, skeptical, and curious individuals who represent the village's varying responses to the strange happenings. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over Elderswood, whispers of dread filled the air. Each day brought new misfortunes. The baker's bread turned to stone, the miller's grains vanished, and shadows danced in the twilight, sending chills down the villagers' spines. They turned to the native doctors, who gathered in the village square, their faces grave and helpless. "We've consulted the spirits, and they remain silent," said the oldest doctor, shaking his head. "We know not what to do." Fear spread like wildfire. Villagers locked their doors at dusk, children clung to their mothers, and rumors of curses and dark magic began to swirl. In the midst of this turmoil lived Lila, a girl of radiant faith. While the villagers feared the unknown, Lila felt a sense of purpose growing within her. She spent her days tending to the garden and praying, believing that God had a plan for her village. Yet her unwavering faith often isolated her. The other children mocked her for praying aloud and calling upon God for help. One evening, after another day of mysterious happenings, Lila sat on a hill overlooking the village, praying earnestly. "Lord, I know you can help us. Please show me how." Suddenly, a soft light enveloped her, and she felt an overwhelming sense of peace. The next day, emboldened by her prayer, Lila approached the villagers gathered at the square. "I believe we need to seek God's help together. We should pray and ask for guidance." The elders scoffed at her suggestion. "We need real solutions, Lila. Prayers will not feed our families or bring back our livestock," they retorted. But Lila persisted. "What if our faith is the solution? What if we're meant to unite in prayer?" A few villagers nodded, intrigued but unsure. Determined, Lila decided to host a prayer gathering at the village church, a small, weathered building that had stood silent for years. She spread the word, and while many remained skeptical, a handful joined her, including a few children who were drawn by curiosity. That night, as the villagers gathered under the flickering candlelight, Lila led them in prayer, her voice steady and filled with hope. "Dear God, we trust in your power. Please show us the way." As they prayed, a gentle wind began to swirl around them, carrying whispers that seemed to echo their thoughts. It felt as though the very air was responding to their faith. Lila encouraged everyone to share their fears and hopes, creating a sense of community that had long been lost. Suddenly, a bright flash illuminated the church, and a figure appeared before them, radiant and warm. "Your faith has summoned me," the figure spoke, "and I bring you a message. The land is suffering not from curses but from neglect. Heal the earth with love, and it shall heal you in return." The villagers gasped, unsure of what to make of the apparition. But Lila's heart soared with understanding. "We must care for the land and each other," she urged. "We must work together to restore our village." The next morning, inspired by Lila's vision, the villagers set to work. They planted new crops, mended fences, and shared resources with one another. Slowly, the land responded, the sun shone brightly, the soil became rich, and life returned to Elderswood. Days turned into weeks, and the village transformed. Lila's unwavering faith ignited a spark in the hearts of her neighbors. They learned to rely on each other, fostering a sense of community that had been absent before. One evening, as they gathered to celebrate their newfound harmony, Lila stood before them, her heart full of gratitude. "We did this together, through faith and love. Remember that it's not about fearing the unknown, but trusting in God's plan. From that day forward, Elderswood flourished. The villagers celebrated not just their bountiful harvests but also their unity and faith. Lila, once an outcast, became a beacon of hope and inspiration, showing that true strength lies in love, community, and faith. As the sun set over Elderswood, the village glowed with life, a testament to the miraculous power of faith and the incredible journey that had brought them together. And Lila knew that she was never alone, her love for God had led her home.